Okay guys, Hot Mess Sunday is back. Whoop whoop. Welcome to, I got one more little Halloween corny video because we're a little bit corny around here. So hang on because here we go. Guys, you know what it's like here on this Hot Mess Express. When we're in a chicken dinner, we got a giveaway coming up. It will be after DIY number 2. After Miss Naomi getting her Halloween gear on. So you guys stick around and I'll see you in a little bit. Bye. Okay guys, DIY number 1. No, I didn't label it, but here we go. So we got a bunch of candy corn videos. I was supposed to do this with my beautiful friend Sheryl from Home Ridge Studio. We were supposed to collab together on our candy corn, and this hot mess got the flu, so I was having to do old Christmas videos to try to keep up with our 12 days of Christmas, and now here we go. So here's my candy corn video. You all go check out Sheryl's video, Home Ridge Studio, her candy corn video. I will link it in my description box. You guys go check her out because she made some adorable things. I wish I could have done it with her. I'm so mad at myself. We'll get to Girl one day, Sheryl. I promise you, girl. Okay, so here we go. I got these little candy corn banners. I didn't have it in the package because I already used some of them to make Miss Naomi's hat from last year. And this was just a banner that I found at the Dollar Tree. I think I have seen it again this year, I think, but not too sure. But I had, this was left over, and then I got another package, so I've got plenty of these little things. You can see I just cut it apart, and I left the little pom-poms on the end because those are actually hot glued to the string that goes through the banner. There's no moving the pom-poms. There's no, yeah, anyway, so we left them cute, right? Okay, so I just hot glued around the bottom edge, left the top open. Yep, we're gonna stuff these babies, and I'm not gonna waste my polyfill or anything like that, but I've got a bazillion plastic grocery bags that we are gonna fill these with, and it's gonna work just hunky-dory fine, right? Yeah, I'm trying to get my mess and hot glue off of there. Okay, so I'm just stuffing this down in to get down there and to the point. I started out with a metal ruler, and well, of course, that didn't work because that doesn't have a point. So then I used a paintbrush because that worked a little bit better. And then I realized, well, it's not stuffing down in because I put so much hot glue at the bottom. But you know what? That's okay. It all works out. Here comes Mr. Moose. If you have missed the Moose Man, Mr. Moose Man is Mr. Helpy Help. Per ton. If that sounded funny, some reason my phone stopped and the video stopped and the recording stopped, and I'm not starting over. But anyway, okay, right now he's busy at the back of the table playing with the bags and getting in the bags, and he got his head in one of the handles of the bag, and I had to save him here in a minute. You see up in the top corner? Yep, that's what he's busy doing right now. So anyway, hang around. Moose makes grand appearances all through this video. I glued the end, and after I glued that, since it's kind of poofy, it's going to pop apart. So I used my little clamps from the Dollar Tree. These are great. And I just clamped that and let it go, and there we are. So I'm just going to cut off another to make us 3 little pillows. This is just for your entertainment, what I was talking about. I was stuffing another pillow, and he was literally going to help me. Mr. Helpy Helperton, right? He's going to help Mama stuff these bags in there, or better yet, maybe he's just a pain, because now he's going to dig his claws into it and chew on it and take it away from me. Anywho, we managed to get through this about an hour later, thanks to him. So I made 3. I'm going to take my Walnut Tim Holtz Distressing Ink, which I think is starting to dry out because this was just a little variety pack. That's why they're so little and square. They were on clearance at, yeah, Michael's quite a while back I got them, and so they were probably on clearance because they were so old, and now they're even older because it's been so long. But anyway, I got enough in there. I'm just going around the edge and then kind of just smearing some on it. I even kind of mushed my pom-poms in it. And then I get to the point where later I take it and just lay it on the mat there, and I just smush the fire out of them. Anyway, so we're distressed now. Yeah, we're distressed, all right. Okay, I got these tags from my friend Shelly. Thank you, Shelly. But y'all get tired of hearing that. But I know Shelly don't. I love you, Shelly. And, oh, my apothecary labels and letters that I got from my beautiful Heather at Spender Mountain Mercantile. Heather, I miss you, girl. I love you. Okay, anyway. So she sent me this whole pack. This has like 4 different fonts. Well, to like 2 fonts, and each font is 2 different sizes. So, and I got that little clear block. That just came from the Dollar Tree. And I was trying to find something. We're going to make some tags for our candy corn here. Because, yeah, I forgot to say that. Anyway, so we're going to have trick or treat. So for the trick, I wanted it to fit these cards. Because the other cards I had looked too big for the candy corn. These were the right size, but then I wanted these big letters to stick out. So I'm going to kind of have to push it sideways. You saw after I got them on that I just kind of tap, tap, tap with my ink pad there. And then you can always wipe the extra. I know you guys may have seen this. Others do this. Here's Mr. Helpy Helperton again. And now I'm going to do the treat word. Now, treat was a bigger word, so I had to kind of make the letters all up, down, sideways, wonky. And that's what I'm trying to do right here. Sorry about the butt. Anyway, you can see I already tried on the other side. Here I am trying to do this. He keeps hitting my hand. Yeah, it had been a while since Mama had been in the craft room. Yeah, probably about a good 3 weeks. Anywho, and I always make sure, guys, after you use your stamps, wipe them off. Of course, I need one more T, so I just set that back on there. Tap, tap, titty, tap. And made sure that was another wonky little letter. Press down. Boom, there we go. I just did the OR, kind of wonky as well. Taking my walnut distressing Tim Holtz and kind of going around these edges here as much or as little as you want. I kind of wish now that I would have like coffee stained these or something, but that's okay. I was, you know, me, hot mess in a hurry, right? Okay. And so now I'm just like wadding these up, wrinkling them up. They're just a thick cardstock paper is all they are. And yep, I just wadded, rolled them up, right? Just making them right. And then after that, I took my distressing ink and then I went over it again with the ink pad, and that kind of hit all those, you know, where it was bent and all that. Okay. So now we got our rusty crusty pins that I had made in one of our 12 days of Christmas. Thanks to my beautiful friend Joanna for reminding me of how you could do this. You could just put some Mod Podge on with some cinnamon, or I have seen some others take some of that burnt umber and paint them and then put your cinnamon on. So I don't know what I did. They needed some more cinnamon. I actually had to steal these safety pins, the little rusty crusty pins off my candy canes that I had made back on one of my 12 days of Christmas. Yep, just took them right off. Anyway, and then I added the burnt umber to make sure they kind of stayed brown. Added the cinnamon, but it kept pulling off. And anyway, hot mess around here, right? Okay, so once those were dry, I then am just pinning them. Yes, and quite often I get out of view of the camera here because, yeah, I don't even have to say it anymore. And there we go. And I just kind of put one at the top, then or in the middle, and then treat at the bottom. So trick, or, and treat. Got them on there sideways. Felt like I was missing something. So I got some of the old black creepy cloth from the Dollar Tree. I had this in my stash. You'll now have to pay $1.50 for your creepy cloth. Unless you go to Dollar General, they probably have it for $1 because Dollar General's prices are getting cheaper and you get more bang for your buck, it seems. I'm just tying that around the end of the safety pin and I just knotted it. And now, of course, it kind of looks like it's wired together. I just cut 3 strips off of that creepy cloth. And so now that I've got them all tied on, I'm just kind of fraying them and pulling them apart so that they kind of get all frazzled, bedazzled, and yeah, I frayed them and then frayed them all over the table, and they really fell apart. And anyway, I was kind of thinking, I don't know about this, but it actually does turn out pretty cute. So there's our trick-or-treat candy corns. Now, I had this little thing in my stash. It has been in my stash for so long and so much stuff thrown on it. It broke. It just had some little tiny nails in it. I think I got it at Hobby Lobby, and there were 3 mason jars in it. So yeah, we still got those somewhere. In the glass, you know, section of my hoard. Anyway, so I've been wanting to do something with this forever. So we're just kind of fixing it up. I'm in a hurry, so a daub of wood glue and then some hot glue. Now I'm going to take some black, just acrylic paint, because I didn't want to really waste my chalk paint, because, and I'm glad I didn't, because see how it looks right now? It pretty much looks the same. I'm taking my, it's black by apple barrel, literally, and some water, and I'm just really watering this down. I watered it down on the little palette there, and then I'm watering it down while I'm painting it on, and anyway, so just to make it a little bit darker. And I'm spraying it as I'm wiping it. And then I take a dry paper towel and I wipe it off. And it pretty much looks the same. Yeah, doesn't look too much different, right? Okay, so step 2. Let's take some plaster chalk paint. And now I will bust into my chalk paint. You like how I do that? Let me just try to dip the, brush in the thing, I know we're supposed to keep our paints clean and all that. Yeah, you know that ain't gonna happen here. And so then I'm just trying to distress it with this big old, paintbrush here and go around my edges, and then after I did that, it looked too bright, like there was too much white. See, like this side I felt like there wasn't enough. I go to the other side and it's like bam, and then it's all over, and I'm like, well, I don't want that much. And then I ended up getting the maize yellow by Waverly out. Here I am adding some more black. You can look at the paper towel over there. See all the mixture of the colors? Yeah. This pretty much looks exactly how it did. Got paint all over my mat. And don't worry, that self-cutting mat, it's already a mess anyway. And there it is, guys. It didn't turn out too bad. I thought it was pretty cute. Okay, Miss Naomi. We got to get Naomi ready for Halloween since we're only 2 weeks away at this point. Running a little behind. Yeah, okay, so there was Miss Fall Naomi. Now, this hat I made last year. Once again, I used, you know how they have the witch hats with like that tinsel garland? I had ripped all that off, and then I took some of the candy corn, and it took 3 of them, I think, to glue and onto that hat form after I ripped off all the tinsel stuff. It was a Dollar Tree witch hat, just a decor sitter. I pulled all the tinsel off and then glued on 3 of the candy corn banners. You can see the pom-poms are on there. Made a shaggy bow. Yeah, did this last year. You'll have to go check that video out. I'll link it down below if I can find it and remember which one it is. Yeah, he's back. So this was a thing that I thought I had bought the one that had the candy corn pieces on it. But of course not. I had 2 of them in my hand. I was debating on buying both of them. I thought they'd cut this part out. I guess I didn't. And I thought I was going to buy both of them. And then I thought, no, let me just buy the one with the candy corn. Yeah, guess which one I grabbed? The one with the pumpkins. But at least it has the yellow and orange pom-poms. You can see that I dismantled Naomi and I wanted to do a bow, chicka, bow, bow, when I was kind of pulling her dress off there from fall. But let's keep it kid-friendly, right? Okay, so I just put the clear marbles are in there. If you guys haven't been here before, to just give it some weight, because we're now on our 2nd bottle for our little Naomi light up thing here, thanks to Moose Man shattering the first one. So the glass marbles are in there to give it some weight. I kind of always throw something else in, like you saw me taking the leaves and the balls all out. Yeah, and now we put those pom-poms in just to go. And here I am so far behind. I didn't want her to have the white mop hair. I wanted her to have some black hair. So I had some just regular old black yarn that I got from my friend Sheryl. And I just wrapped it and wrapped and wrapped and wrapped. And I did it. I wrapped it like 30 times. And then I cut it. If you rewind and go back, and I show you exactly what I did. And then I tie strapped it in the middle. Okay. And we're going to lay all these on top. Notice I also had little lights there. So I made 5 of those. 5 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In case you can't count. And they're in strands of 30. Then I cut it in half and bundled them in groups. Okay, so anyway, 5 bundles. Make as much hair as you want. I wish I would have made more, like 8. But anyway, it's okay. So I got 5 bundles, and now I take the smaller bundles, like 2, and I bundle the 2 bundles together, and then the other 3, I bundled all them together. And I don't hot glue the hair to the glass itself, because if you guys have been around, you know, we redo Nomi every holiday, every season. So I don't ever really glue her hair to the bottle. And this is probably half of my problem. But look, Moose is going to add some of his hair in there. So I'm just kind of setting it on top. Now, I will glue this hair to her hat. Last year, Naomi had just regular old white hair. But I'm going to go ahead and... Of course, sorry, can't see. I'm going to go ahead and try to glue the hair. I'm telling you guys, he was a mess. I guess because I hadn't been in a craft room for like 3 weeks. He had like missed being in the limelight there. Okay, so we've glued the hair to the hat. Okay, kind of floofing it out. I do trim it up, cut some off, blah, blah, blah. And then I just set it on top. It doesn't sit very well because the top of that milk glass, I got it at a thrift store, is like bigger than the hat. Last year, the glass I had, the hat smushed down right on top of it. But since some fuzzy kid up there broke it and shattered it, and I used a new glass, this one I'm not liking as much because it's taller and it's bigger. And now my hats I made last year don't fit, but there she is. Okay, guys, here we go. Nothing fancy. Here's all my beautiful ladies. I did read all your beautiful emails. I know I'm a little slow, but you know what it's like on this Hot Mess Express. The Moose is joining us. Yes, he is. To see who our winner chicken dinner is. Here we go, ladies. Moose is verifying, making sure I'm doing it correctly, even though he isn't looking. There he goes. Okay, here we go, ladies. Here we go. Boop. Oh, wait, that's not what I click. Okay, yeah, you know what it's like here. Whoop, there we go, there we go. Winner, chicken dinner. Who's our winner? Oh, Miss Katina! Miss Katina, at Miss Katina go. We got a winner chicken dinner. I love all you beautiful ladies. I have read all your emails. I'm sorry I have not responded, but I love every one of you. I love seeing all the pictures of the kitty cats. Oh my gosh, yay! And I also love all the pictures of some of the crafts y'all sent me you made. Y'all are so special to me. I love y'all so much. Congratulations, Katina. I will send you a verified email, sister. But I love all of y'all. Thank y'all for being here. And now back to the shenanigans. Congrats, Miss Katina. Oh, I love you, girl. I love you all. You're from the bottom of my heart. I cannot thank y'all enough for being here, watching my crazy hot mess and bearing with me. Okay, so I got this truck, I think, several years ago at Dollar General. That little spooky eek sign I got at Dollar Tree probably about a year or two ago. You don't look at that face. Oh, good. I love that face. Yeah, the little bald spot on the back of his neck, that's where I put his flea stuff, and it always makes his hair fall out right there. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm not abusing my child, I promise. Okay, so I sanded my little truck down, pulled all the little pumpkins and stuff off, and that is like a little metal on the back of the truck. And so sanded her down, and now I got my little eek. We were just using the candy corns off that little spooky eek sign. Put some painter's tape on the back, and we're filling in the holes at the top with our dry spackle that I now have to get at Walmart because I can no longer find it at Dollar Tree, but I hear that is, yep, Dollar Tree don't have it no more. Okay, so we're going to take our Waverly chalk paints here that you can see I showed you. We're going to mostly use our black, and I'm going to use the orange mostly on this. I'm going to repaint, because after I sanded it and had to get that pumpkin patch wording off, I sanded it and I wanted to repaint it with the black ink. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to be as careful as I can, you know, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And I get the whole side, the other side, inside the window, on the top, front of the thing here. Yeah, you guys know how to paint. Sorry, I didn't take this out, but, you know, okay. Done, Sabrina. Thank you. Okay, so there it is. I think I did like 2 coats or so. We're going to use our pumpkin here by Waverly, and I'm going to paint the wheels. Now I'm going to paint the top, and I'm also going to go around the sides. And that right there, that little tail, that little honey booty right there, that's Baby. Baby never makes an appearance. So she was even in the limelight today. Okay, so you can see I'm taking my paintbrush and trying to carefully go all the way around the tire, but careful is as careful does, right? Yeah, done happened. Okay, so of course after I did this, I did have to go back. I tried to wipe off what I could, and then I had to touch up my black. Anyway, there it is. Okay, got it. I'm going to take a little small pouncer here, and I'm going to mush this in my plaster. And we'll make some little white wall tires here. These are going to be our rims. And I'm just going to smoosh, boop, out of range. Oh, nope, I put it back in there. There we go. Okay, for some reason it locked up again. Oh my gosh, have mercy. So it's been several weeks since I've actually made a video. So yeah, here we go. All right, yeah, the Christmas stuff was old stuff, and except for like the first 2 with the ornaments. And yeah, anyway, all right, guys. Okay, so here we go. I took my plaster while I had it out, and I kind of just touched up the top of the candy corns there, and to cover up the little holes and yep, make a mess. Okay, so I got this cute little pack of window decals at Dollar Tree. Yep, they were $1.50 now because I just got them. They're so cute, but they were clear. So what I did is I took this little, they were all candy corns. They were just so cute. I wanted to do something with all of them, but yeah, it didn't happen. So anywho, painted the back with the plaster, so since it wouldn't be clear anymore and it'll pop a little bit better on the truck. I traced those candy corns. We're going to set them in the back of the truck, and I kind of was just tracing with a pencil where I wanted them to sit to help me know where to put the glue. After I get the Titebond wood glue on, because I was actually being good this time, and I already tried the hot glue and it didn't work. So I figured, okay, fine then. I'll use the Titebond and I'll wait till tomorrow to finish, which was like a week ago. Anyway, so after that sits and dries, I ran out of storage on my phone, and so none of the rest of this gets recorded until boom, we're done. But anyway, the candy corns are going to go into the back of the truck. I don't know what I'm pointing at. Oh, we're going to take our little girl here who the paint was almost dry, but not completely, but you know, no patience. I was already mad because the hot glue didn't work on the candy corns. I'm just using some old school glue, and don't worry, it's purple, but we all know it dries clear. And that's why I had to paint her white, because if I left her clear, you wouldn't be able to see her as good. So I just painted some plaster on the back of that and then glued it on. Now I'm going to take my Antique Waverly wax and a wet wipe, and I'm just going to do the bed rails there so they kind of look a little darker, more like wood, like bed rails. Yeah. Plus I had got black paint on them, so, you know. But I do go ahead and do that to both sides. So there we go. I wanted a little bit more yellow on the truck, but you know, should I have made the little rims, the hubcaps, should I have made those yellow instead of white? Y'all let me know. Okay, next picture is pretty much going to show you that. Yep, we're going to leave this, and I'm going to show you. I thought I was going to put some more greenery back, but I didn't. But I did make some cute little buffalo check. Wow, I didn't even put the picture in there for that. Whoops. Some buffalo check bows on the top. You guys will see it at the very end. Okay, anyway, to this one now. Boy, this is one hot mess. So this came from Dollar Tree like last year, so it was still $1.25. There's your little frame from Dollar Tree. These I got this year, but they're little treat bags. So, of course, yes, they were $1.50. I was going to use the gold Robin Buff. Yes, we know I love the gold, right? No, I don't. So I end up actually not using that after all. I was going to kind of distress the frame with it, but changed my mind. Okay, out of that little plaque, I only wanted the ghost with the little candy corn, because that's what we're doing, of course. I'm going to take the back off of this frame, and I'm going to show you how much I struggle. Now, at first, okay, made sure. I'm just going to leave that alone because I know I'll break it, right? Okay, so we're going to get one of our little treat. They're just paper bags. I'm going to open it up. We're going to take my scissors. I'm going to cut down one of the little sides right here. I just thought these were adorable with candy corn because I couldn't find any candy corn fabric. My Dollar Trees never hardly ever have any fabric, ever, except for stuff that I already have in any way. And so I just cut that apart, cut the bottom off, and I first used the paper to trace this, but then decided to use that whole full back to make sure that I made it big enough. I'm just tracing around that whole back of the frame right there where I wanted it, and Moose is going to help us cut it out. Yep, see, you guys can even see what I'm doing. Cat for sale! Who wants the moose? You know, everybody wants the moose. Sorry, I can't give my moosey away. Okay, I'm just going to put the glue all over, like, and he's kicking all my stuff off the table, by the way, right there, if you didn't see that. I'm just taking my Elmer school glue here, and I'm just going all the way around the back of this, and then we are going to set on our candy corn paper. I did kind of get off a little bit. We're just going to press this down real good. If you got a brayer, you can bray it, but Moose Man was not allowing that to happen. Got off the edges, so I'm just going to trim this up a little bit. See, he's like just kicking my... Look, he was playing with his scissors. He's like, I didn't cut him, a silly goose. Anyway, I get that popped back into the frame. The glass is still in there. Haven't done anything with it. And we'll pop this on. Sorry about the honey. Yeah, I mean, he's just all up in the business. Okay, so there we go. That's cute, just like that. Look at that. Yay. Woo! Okay, now we're going to take my little candy corn ghosty here. I'm not going to do much to it. I did take some of my walnut distressing ink and went around the edges just to darken it up because it was so bright, but you're not going to see it that much. Now we're going to kind of glue her on there cattywampus. No, hot glue does not stick to glass very well, but I have no patience at this point. Between Moose and running out of time, and I really wanted to do these for you guys and do more than 2 projects. And I really wanted this. This interest kind of came off of some Pinterest things that I've seen. Anywho, so we're going to glue that on. It'll work for right now. And plus with the hot glue, I can always pop her off and change out the paper, and I can do something else. So I've got some rickracks, I got some ribbons, I got some little pom-pom stuff. That's from Michael's. The rickrack all came from Shelly. Those other 2, I think, came from Hobby Lobby because, you know, I got some, always got some buffalo check laying around. And we're just going to make a little raggy bow here. And I just cut 2 strips of each one, probably about, what, 3 inches long maybe. And, yep, it is kind of big, but I am going to trim it down, okay? So, but first I was just like, you know, better too long than too short, right? Because, you know, we can cut it down, but we can't add to it. I'm just going to take a piece of jute twine. Watch this, guys. So I'm going to wrap it around to kind of just give it some oomph in the middle. And then I'm going to tie it. Okay, here we go. Boop, boop, boop. Tie, tie, tie. Watch, watch. Look, yeah, good, great jute twine there, right, guys? Yeah, okay, so I'm just going to add some hot glue to that to make sure it stays. And then I'm going to take that one piece that's left and wrap it around just to give it a little bit of zhuzh in the middle there. So it looks like that's supposed to be there. And then when I get it around, I think like 2-3 times, I think I wrapped it and smushed it. And it kind of stuck, but I'll give it a little bit more glue. And stick it down. And then I flip it over and I like smash it on the table to make sure it is all stuck together. And I kind of move my ribbons around to make sure they were where I wanted, and then just cut that extra piece of jute twine off. So now I'm going to rearrange my ribbons and play with this for 5 hours, you know, and I'll show you this, but not show you the truck at the end a little while ago. Anyway, and we're just going to hot glue that to the top of her head and make her a little girl. But before I do that, I'm just going to trim this up now that I know how long I want it. And I didn't do, obviously, any dovetails or anything. I'm just, when I cut ribbons, like if I have a big bunch like this, I make one go one way and one go another way. So just points, however you want to do it, you know, and so you can see how much I cut off up there. And just a little dab of hot glue there. Put that right in the middle, and I kind of squish it and push it up a little bit. Doobie doobie doo, doobie doobie doo. And she's so cute. Ah, I love it. She's so cute. And then I'll kind of set fire to things, but I didn't really get too bad this time. You'd all be proud of me, but I cut it out, you know. Anyway, that just keeps it from raveling anymore. Unraveling, not raveling, unraveling, okay? So there she is. All right, now I got this little boo. It was a little sticker, came out some Dollar Tree stuff. Now I noticed that orange was not the same orange as her candy corn orange and orange in the bow. So I'm trying to figure out, do I want to use the pumpkin by Waverly, or I have this jack-o'-lantern paint by Apple Barrel. Well, the jack-o'-lantern paint matched the ribbon in the bow better. But of course, it still doesn't match the candy corn. So here's what I'm going to do. So I pounced it on the boo, which got rid of the glitter, because I don't like glitter. Glittery ornaments, yes, and I know it's getting Christmas time, and yes, okay? Otherwise, I hate glitter. So I thought this would be a great idea. Let me all make this the same orange. I'll just paint over the top of this. Surely this won't be too hard. I didn't do too bad. Plus, there won't be as much glitter, because the orange and yellow on her candy corn and her little cheeks up there have glitter on them. So, yeah, anyway. So that at least cuts down some of the glitter problem. If you guys don't like glitter, you like the shine of it, but you don't like it all over the place. I know a lot of people use hairspray, but once again, I didn't feel like getting it up and getting it out of my closet because, you know, heaven forbid I keep it in my rolling cart right next to me, something that I would use all the time. But look, I even tried to get in her cheeks there a little bit. Look, there we go. There's our boo. We'll make sure everything's dry. Now we're going to take, and I'm just going to hot glue this, figuring out where I want it and where does the glue need to go. So I'm just going to take my little glue pen here, which I absolutely love. It just dries, I mean, not dries, but cools off really quick is the only problem. So you kind of got to work fast. Look, there's Beelzebub. And we'll glue that on there. Hold it on, push it on, be good. So everything is still able to pop off. That's why I didn't really use a lot of permanent type glue, because then I can use this frame again if I want. Isn't that adorable? I thought she came out so cute. But then I thought there's still something missing on her bow. So this is one of those, and there's Gracie Lou. It was a bag of potpourri pumpkins and some other stuff from Dollar Tree a long time ago. I haven't seen it in about like 2 years. So I just found one of those little pumpkins floating around in a tote with all my Halloween stuff and put that right in the middle of her bow, and that gave it a little something something. And here I'm just getting all the little glue cobwebbies and all that kind of stuff. This came out too cute. I was so happy with this. I'm gonna take this up to school and put it up at school. Here it is 2 weeks before Halloween, and I'm just now gonna get my Halloween decorations up, but that's okay. Here we go, guys. There's our little eat truck. You can see I added the little buffalo check bows where those holes were. I thought that came out really cute, so that'll go up to school too, because you know I got my black and white buffalo check up there at school. And then there's our little boo girl and our frame, and here is our little trick-or-treat candy corns, and they look better once I got them in the little crate there, which looks exactly the same, despite the fact I probably worked 30 minutes on that crate painting it. And there's Naomi. She is ready for Halloween. We'll have to kind of put her back into some fall to get her ready for Thanksgiving, but that's okay. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry I've been out, but make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that hype button, hype it up. I love y'all so much. See you later.